Okay, Brendan. So to start, I'm looking at, remember this is U2L6 page 11. I'm looking at essentially a reset student version. So this is not yours. This is just a what the student version would look like from the original version, like from the beginning before you started. What you should do, Brendan, because you have some code that you need to take out, and rather than showing you the specific code you need to remove and you're going to have to like reset some of the original formatting, you can use this version history button that you'll have on your bar here right above your content. You can hit version history, and then there should be an option to start over. So it'll take you back to the initial version, and it won't reset the whole lesson. So you don't have to worry. You won't lose all your progress on everything previously. It'll just start you over for this level. So this particular page. When you do that, it'll take you back to the main page that you started with, and it'll have all the formatting correctly done on that page. So I'm going to exit out of this because it's taking longer than I thought it would, but you will have that. I don't have it when I look at your page right now because it's view only, because I'm the teacher, so I can't edit your work. I can only talk to you about your work, but you'll have it right over here. It should say version history, just like it says version history for me. You'll click it, and again, from the initial version, you'll just hit start over, and it'll reset your page so it looks just like mine, okay? So that's the first thing you need to do, is reset your progress on this page. After you've reset your progress on this page, you have a couple of things that you need to do. The first is you have an index file and a style file here. Notice there's nothing in the style file, so we're going to have to work on that, but there's also no link to the style file in the index file. So that's the first thing you need to do. You need to link the style sheet to the web page. Over here, there are some questions, and this last question is actually, how do I add a style sheet to a web page? If you click this arrow on that question, it'll drop down with the directions and the exact code that you need. So it tells you to add a style sheet to a web page, open up the code for the web page, so that's here, the HTML file. Inside the head tag, add the following code. So you need to be here between head and end head, and this is the exact code that you need to add. So put it in word for word, double check your spelling. I worked with someone for about 30 minutes today trying to figure out what was wrong with their sheet because everything looked correct, but it wasn't linking. And it turned out they'd mixed up the Y and the L in the word style sheet. So nothing was working because they had two letters that got mixed up. It took us so long to figure out. So definitely, if something's not working right, always check your spelling, because a lot of times we make a small error and it can cause our code not to come through correctly. So again, between head and end head, you'll notice all that I did was just go right next to the head tag, hit enter, and then it gave me that space in between. And then I would start to copy the code that I see right here. So it's link rel equals, and I would continue on until I hit the end of that code. And then it tells me to change my style CSS name to the name of my style sheet, but I can leave it as style.css because my style sheet is named style.css. So you can actually copy this word for word, or letter for letter, I should say, from here into your HTML file. Now, if you had a different name for your style file, let's say for some reason you wanted to name it index style specifically because you're planning on creating multiple pages. So you want to know which style sheet connects to which page. Let's say I rename it index style. Then right here, where the name of the file is, you would need to make sure that the name said index style instead of href style.css. So you just want to make sure the name you use in your link matches the name of the file that you're going to be choosing from. Okay, so that's the first step. Between head and end head, add the link to the style file. If you want to pause for a second, pause the video and go do that now. That might be a good idea. And then when you come back, we'll work on making the paragraph text a different size and the paragraph text a different color. For the paragraph text and size, you need to be working in the style file. I'm not going to walk you through exactly how to create the rule set, but I am going to show you how you can use previous work in this lesson to help you. So if you don't remember how to create a rule set for the paragraph tags in your style file, I would recommend you go back to page 10, which was the practice page, and you choose any one of the activities on the practice page to look at as a reference. If I go to the style file in the practice page, I can see exactly how to code for a rule set. So notice we call this the selector, is on the outside. P means my paragraph tags. You use these curly braces, and then you select color, tell me the color, and notice you have the colon and the semicolon. And then font size, tell me the font size, again, colon and semicolon. This is pink, which tells me something is wrong with that, and it's the dash mark. And then, of course, you have to end with your curly bracket as well. So I repeat, if you need help figuring out how to write a rule set in your style file, you should go back to page 10 and choose from any one of the activities on page 10, inspect their style file to see how to set up your own. And then once you understand how to write your rule set, you can use that knowledge on page 11. So on page 11, you should have a style file, although it appears that mine is missing right now. Well, we'll look at yours instead. Good thing I had two open. On page 11, you'll have your style file, and you'll take the formatting and you'll place it here in the style file, and you will need to make sure that you make the paragraph text a different size and the paragraph text a different color. So if you want to manipulate the paragraph text, think about what your selector might need to be, what should be on the outside of those curly brackets in your style file, and then also text size and text color. How would you code for that? Again, go back to practice activity 10 if you need to see some references on how to do that. And of course, if you have another question, feel free to email me, or if you just want me to take a look at your file once you've finished, I'd be happy to do that.